So, baby, I'm excited about today's podcast. Today, we're going to talk about some of our favorite products. Isn't that right?
Yeah, these are like the essential can't live without products as an RVer.
So if you're a new RVer or you just want to hear what our favorite products are, stay tuned and listen to what we've got to say.
Because here we go.
This is RV Destinations Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the RV Destinations Podcast. I am Randy Beheimer, the president of RV Destinations Magazine and RVDestinations.com. We'd like to welcome you out to the show. I got my beautiful wife, Caly Beheimer, editor-in-chief of the magazine,
Thanks.
here with us. And today we're going to do something different. We have no guest today. We're going to talk a little bit about some of our favorite products. Now, we'll be completely transparent. Some of these products on the list we do have professional relationships with for the magazine.
But a lot of the professional relationships developed after we've been using these products already for years and years and years.
That's true.
So,
We'll disclose that. But again, they're not paying us to put them on the list. In fact, they don't even know they're going on this list.
No.
This is just something that we've put together here pretty quickly to run through because we felt like these are pretty important things. And some of these are standards of the industry that you'll have heard of 1,000 times. Others might be something you didn't think of. So stay tuned and listen to everything we're talking about. So anyway, so we're going to start off with probably, when you buy a new coach or an RV, there's certain things that you always pick up, and at least that's the way we do it. We're like, okay, we got a new coach. What do we need to order? The first thing we order is snap pads.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So we have a professional relationship with snap pads. We love them dearly, from a professional level, and because we use it. And again, we were using snap pads long before the professional relationship with the magazine. However, it's one of the first things we always order. And why? If you're, we don't do a lot of boondocking, but we end up in a lot of campgrounds that are like right here. We're right now in Key West, Florida. We've got coral all over. The pads is pretty much all coral, and having that nice big flat surface the snap pad offers just really helps the RV.
Yeah, it really does. And I, before we got them, I wanted to, I was kind of like, do we really need these? Because Randy found them and was like, we need to get these. And I'm like, I don't think so. Because I'm all about, we're not going to spend the money. That's just always my attitude. But then he got them, and I really did immediately notice a difference in the stability of the RV. It doesn't, they're going to shake. They're sitting on wheels and shocks and springs and struts. They're going to shake. But definitely since we've got the snap pads, it's more stable, way more stable. Because, those little things are like this big around for Class A RVs. We're talking like 30 to 50,000 pounds sitting on this. And so you add the snap pad, and now you've got a surface area like this that's really thick, heavy duty, whatever the heck they're made out of. And it really does make a huge difference. Highly, 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 highly recommend snap pads.
And especially if you're planning to do a lot of boondocking,
yes.
And you have uneven surfaces, you've got unlevel surfaces, they just really help out all together. And they protect the jack some. So, you can get out to snap pads, check it out. I think we do have a discount code. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but we'll try to find it and put it down in the note sections in YouTube, or you can find it probably on our website.
Yep, we have a partners page on our website. So if you go to rvdestinationsmagazine.com / partners, you will find our partners page. And a lot of them will offer discount codes off that partner page, or you can click on the link. It'll take you directly to their website, and
So the second thing we always order, and this is because anytime you buy a new coach, and this is really just for coaches out there. So if you're a fifth wheel or you have a travel trailer, this might not apply, but is the windshield changes every time you buy a new RV. And so what I'm getting at is we order this pretty much every time we get the coach, and that's a Magne Shade. And we do have again, to be completely transparent, we do have a professional relationship with Magne Shade. They do advertise in the magazine. They have not paid for this plug. This is just something that we're on our fourth Magne Shade?
I think our fourth one. And again, we were getting Magne Shades long before our relationship with them, our professional relationship. Because when we got our first Class A, we would notice that it only had 2 air conditioning units on the top, and it was a 38-foot Class A diesel pusher. And it really struggled in warmer climates, keeping the coach cool. And you could walk to the front of the coach, and just the sun, even if you had both the shades down in front, the sunshade and the nightshade, you could just feel the heat. It was a good probably 10 to 15 degrees warmer up front around all that glass. And we started researching and found the Magne Shade and bought the first one. And it was a game changer. I mean, it really helped that diesel pusher stay a lot cooler on the inside because it really does deflect a lot of those UV rays that come into your RV and heat it up.
Yeah, and that's actually, and I don't know all the statistics. I remember they do have statistics on their website, but I think they're blocking like 70 to 80% of the UV rays that are coming into the coach.
I think it's even more than that. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it's a large number. I remember that, and you got to think about it. So your inside shade, you've got the solar shade usually, and then the night shade inside the coach. But at that point, the UV is already in the coach.
Right.
It's come through the windshield. It's already inside. This prevents it from even getting inside. So it's a game changer. And then, so from the heat alone, the Magne Shades are worth spending the money. Mm-hmm. And we get it all the way around. We get the windshield, we get the door side, the driver's side, and all that. We even have a little doggy window. Although we didn't get the doggy window, we got the little tiny angle.
Yeah, we have a little
triangle type thing.
A little, and we did, the doggy window was an option, and we didn't because the dogs and our cat do look out that window quite a bit, especially our golden doodle. Her head is always like down there peeking to see
what's going on, see why we're not letting them outside.
Right.
But definitely get yourself a Magne Shade if you've got a Class A or even Class C's. I know they retrofit Class C's.
And I think they even do because some of the fifth wheels and travel trailers, some of them will have that big picture window in the front. And I've seen some Magne Shades on those now. So they're manufacturing those as well.
And they also do the tire covers. I forgot about that. Now, we don't own the tire covers, but if you, and this is something that you can get for your travel trailer, fifth wheel, or coach, you can pick up those Magne Shade tire covers. So, and again, we don't have that. So the third one has saved our butt so many times that, again, we have a professional relationship with this company as well, but Power Watchdog.
Oh,
I'm telling
goodness.
you, if you skip everything on this list, do not skip a Power Watchdog.
Yes.
We could tell you story after story. We fried 3 of our air conditioners, not having
one.
This was us being newbies, not knowing that these campgrounds have power surges, and these power surges can wipe out your control panels and all your ACs.
And it did ours. To the point, like we went up there, and when we realized, what had happened, and we were changing the control board, the old control board was like melted, like fried. It could have fried so much worse than what it did. But I mean, each control unit was about $1,200. So it's not like it was a cheap little fix. It was a very painful expense.
I don't think they were that much. I think they were like $300 each, and maybe we replaced 3. And by the time you paid for someone to install it,
my math is so good.
But anyway, the point is it was expensive. You just don't want to get in that situation in the summer. And that always happens in the summer. With these RV parks, everybody's running their ACs, and it just is a big, massive pull on the electrical systems, and it will cause spikes and all that and drops. We actually had Power Watchdog on one of our podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't have that in front of me. Go back and listen to that because he gets into some of the details of why low voltage is almost worse than high voltage.
Right.
So,
which was fascinating to learn. And they're constantly innovating, coming out with new products. Highly recommend getting a Power Watchdog.
And what I don't want you to do is I don't go out there to Amazon, just buy the cheapest one out there. I know you're going to look at the Power Watchdog and like, wow, this is a lot of money. It's not when you talk about protecting, something you spent hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on.
Yeah.
So spend the money, get the Power Watchdog. They are the leader. They are the benchmark in this arena. And so for a surge protector anyway. So do not go out and buy one of those $38 surge protectors online. Get yourself a Power Watchdog if you care about your RV.
Amen.
So the next one, and these are in no particular order. These are just random, wrote them down. Next one, we love this thing, and that's our air fryer.
Yes.
We absolutely love it, and we're using our air fryer all the time.
All the time. And I know, so we have a Class A. Our last 3 have been Class A's. So you typically get a microwave convection oven in one, which a convection oven is an air fryer. That's what it is. It's blowing hot air around. But when you compact that down to a little portable air fryer, it is a game changer when it comes to cooking your food. It's just so much easier. And I love that it's portable. We store it under the bed because we've got wonderful extra storage under the bed. So it gets stored under there, and it's just this quick, easy cleanup. And it's so much easier, cooks so much faster than trying to cook something in the convection oven/microwave.
Well, and it's so much healthier too. You don't have to use a lot of oils, so it doesn't stick to the pan, and all that stuff. And so you cook yourself a nice crisp piece of chicken. I've taken chicken frozen, put it in the air fryer, and within about 20 minutes, it's done and done to a nice old. I like a little char on my chicken personally. And I get it almost every time with the air fryer. You got to play with it and experiment and learn how to use it. Caly even cooked a steak, which turned out phenomenal.
Yes, it did.
She told me she was doing this. I'm like, it was raining outside. She didn't want to come out to the grill. And I'm like, you are going to ruin your steaks.
And I cooked a fillet. It was I was
not a cheap steak.
Not a cheap steak. So I was like, I'm going to do this because ChatGPT says I can. And so I followed. It was like 400 degrees, seasoned it up, put it in there, seared it both sides, and it was perfect. It was so good. I mean, you don't get that grill taste, but it was delicious. It turned out really good.
So this next thing is something that we've had since we've been RVing, and it kind of goes in line with cooking, and that's the smoker we have outside. We had a Traeger smoker, but it kind of bit the dust after 3 or 4 years.
We had it longer than that. But
and Caly didn't want to spend the money on a Traeger. You do pay a lot of money for that name brand, and so we ended up getting a what name brand is it? I'm not even sure.
I actually don't even know.
It's like a Chef Mate or something.
Smoke Boss or something like that.
Oh, it's a Pit Boss, I think.
Let me see.
Actually, she's looking right around the corner.
I'm going to go look. You keep talking.
I think it's a Pit Boss, but the smoker, it's compact enough that you can take it pretty much with. So she's giving me the thumbs up. So yes, it's a Pitmaster. Pit Boss. Okay, there you go.
Pit Boss.
And I think we only spent $200 on it, whereas the Traeger's like close to $400 or $500. It's I'm going off memory here, so fact check me here. Maybe it was $300 or $400, but I know it's quite a bit more than the Pit Boss that we got. And the Pit Boss does just as good. But if you like that smoked chicken, you like ribs and stuff like that, take one with you. We love it. We use it all the time. I
do. I love it. I have to have my grill and my smoker, and I love to cook on both. Hey, RV dreamers, ready to level up your adventures? Right now, you can get 30% off any RV Destinations magazine subscription with our holiday code XMIS30. Yep, 30%. Treat yourself or another Wanderluster to stunning destination, expert travel tips, and road-tested inspiration. But hurry, this holiday deal rolls away fast. Use the code XMIS30, that's XMAS30 at checkout at rvdestinationsmagazine.com/subscribe and start exploring smarter.
All right, so let's tell so the next one this is in Caly's area because I don't even pay attention, but Caly hates hard water.
I do.
And hard water does ruin pipes of RVers. It can cause a lot of problems, and I do know that. A lot of problems. But I never pay attention. She's taking a shower like, oh, this water is so hard.
Yeah, and it does. I also have sensitive skin. I have psoriasis, and so hard water and I just don't do well together. As women, it wreaks havoc on your hair. It's harder to get clean laundry. Clothes get really dingy in hard water. And then you think about all of the pipes going through your coach, motorhome, travel trailer, whatever it is, and all of that hard water buildup, in your black tank, in your gray tanks, in your holding tanks, all of that. So we've always had a water softener, and I've always done, the on-the-go water softener. I've had a few of those, and those are the ones you have to go out and self-generate, meaning you unscrew the top, you pour in the salt, you screw the top back on, you turn the water on really slow and let it sit there for 30, 45 minutes, and then, quote unquote, it's recharged. When we're parked up in Kentucky, the water is so insanely hard that a charge on the little water softener would literally only last about 2 days. And so every 2 days, I was back outside recharging. And my neighbor at one point was like, you are always recharging that thing. And I said, yeah, well, we've got the washing machine, we've got the dishwasher, we've got the showers going. So we're using a decent amount of water. And I looked at Randy, I'm like, I'm sick of this. Like every 2 days I'm outside. So he found this wonderful self-regenerating. It is like a home unit that they shrunk down to a small unit, and I've got the brine tank and I've got my water softener. It's all controlled on an app on my phone. And the thing's amazing. And Chandler Systems is the company that makes this smaller home unit.
What's the name of it?
Chandler Systems. Did you look it up?
I was trying to look it up. I think I bought it through, and maybe this is just a company that sells them, but U.S. Water Systems, I think, was the name of the company I bought it through. But yeah, now it's bigger. You got to have the room to carry it all. So it is bigger. You've got 2 tanks, as she said. Mm-hmm. But it works pretty much like our home unit, and it does an amazing job.
It does an amazing job. And what I love is, I know you probably can't see it on my phone, but it literally just connects via Bluetooth. I can go in here and see everything that's going on with my water softener, if I need to regenerate now or regenerate later. I mean, it gives me all the information on the app, which is wonderful. Because again, like we're in Kentucky and we're going through soft water so fast, I can feel it getting hard, and I can just hit regenerate tonight, and it regenerates.
Does it say the model number there, so we can at least tell them the model number? If it does it, I don't know if it says it there or not.
I don't know. Let me see. Oh, sorry, the app just closed. It just says metered softener.
Okay, that's all right. We'll see. If we can find it, we'll try to put it in the note section or down in the note section on the podcast.
Because it's a game changer. It is a game changer.
All right, so the next one is definitely a game changer. This is something that just allowed us to work from the road no matter where we at, and that's the Starlink. If you don't have a Starlink and you're an RVer,
you're just not cool.
Well, let's rephrase that. If you're working from the road and you're a full-time RVer or even a part-time RVer and you have to continue to work from the road, get a Starlink.
Get a Starlink.
Spend the money, get the link, get the Starlink, hook it up. It's a game changer.
Because we used to operate off of 2 different hotspots. So we had an AT&T, and then we had a Verizon hotspot, and then and the campground. So we were always hoping at least one of those would connect somewhere. But there were times where nothing connected.
Out west, especially. Yeah, you get into some dead areas out in west. I can recall some near Monument Valley area that we had no signal whatsoever.
Right. We'd even gone out and bought a big cell phone booster that we had, hung 30 feet up in the air, and with this little antenna looking for cell phone signals. And, that would kind of hopefully help a little bit.
Yeah, but it never really did. And we were always struggling. If we knew we were going to be close to a major city, we knew it probably wouldn't be a problem. But we had a problem in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, when we were down in that one campground. It
was a dead zone.
It was a dead zone, and now we couldn't even get a Starlink because there was trees everywhere probably. But anyway, get a Starlink.
Get a Starlink.
We've got it mounted on top of our Tiffin, and when we're rolling down the road, we can get 230 megabytes per second high-speed internet. Mm-hmm. We can stream movies. We can do all the things. We can upload, download, and all that stuff. Now, the only time is in the evening, and you're in a campground, a lot of Starlinks. Sometime you'll see, I don't think they're metering you down, but you have a lot of people accessing it, and sometimes it will slow. But we've never had a problem streaming movies ever.
No.
If we're uploading a large file, sometimes that happens. But you can get access anywhere in the world.
Anywhere.
But we flew to Scotland and used it in Scotland, and so this works pretty much anywhere in the world that Starlink has relationships with those countries. So get yourself one. Like I said, we've got a mounted one in the RV, and then we also have a portable one for situations like that. So moving on is something that we newly acquired, and that's a battery-powered Makita vacuum.
Yes. Okay. So ladies and the guys that do the cleaning as well, this you want to listen to this. So we've got Central Vac in here, which I love. It works great. It's amazing. But sometimes I just don't feel like going into the back closet, digging into the plastic container that I have this stuff stored in, pulling out the hose that's, forever and a feet long. And sometimes I just need a quick cleanup. So we had a stick vacuum that was just kind of a little bit too big, and I wanted something smaller that I could kind of take apart and hide away somewhere. And Randy was like, well, we've got Makita tools and all of those Makita batteries. I wonder if they sell a hand vac. Well, they sure did. A hand vac with the stick extensions. So it turns into like an upright vacuum. And it's a game changer. I mean, we use it literally every day when I'm like, the dog's made a little mess, or we made a mess cooking, or right now we're dealing with those stupid little Asian ladybugs that aren't really ladybugs. We've been using the little vacuum to vacuum those up. It's been so handy that when I when I want to do a deep clean, I pull out the big, central vac. When I just need a quick cleanup, we use that little hand vac, and it is a game changer. It has been great.
Really has been nice to grab it. And, we've got dogs. One of our dogs is a golden doodle, which doesn't shed, but our boxer does shed. And so it's a nice little thing to, our steps going into the RV gets a lot of hair built up there. For some reason, we can suck it all up. But okay, so the next one is our dog fence.
Yeah.
You can see behind us in the camera, actually both cameras, you can see our dog fence. We got one of the new ones that have the little pins that go down and connect the panels together. We bought 2 of them, which covers the entire 40 foot of our RV. Now, some RV parks allow the dog fence, some don't. I feel like more and more are starting to allow it, more so than not allow it. But you do have some of those parks that, whatever their reason is, and I still don't understand it, they don't allow it. But this helps us. And it's not like we let our dogs just stay out all day outside in the heat and all that. We don't. But we do like to, in the morning when we're just waking up, we got sleep in our eyes, let them out, go do their business, and then let them back in without having to tie them up on a leash, walk them around, and get them to do their thing. So it allows us to do that, and then we come up later and clean up their morning doo-doo.
their morning doo-doos.
But yeah, these fence, I don't know the name of these or anything like these. We love these fence. This is a second type of fence we've had. The other one was foldable, and we had it folded. But the problem with that is the dog could run into them and knock them over.
Yeah, there's nothing to hold it in place.
These have, and if you probably know what I'm talking about, but these have long pins that go down and connect the panels, but then they also have a point on the end that you can actually shove them into the ground to give them stability. And absolutely love them. They got a small version, they got a medium version, they got a large version. We've got the medium version ourselves, and that seems to work well for our golden doodle and boxer. So anyway, consider getting yourself a fence if you got room in your RV to put them. They do take up quite a bit of room.
They take up a lot more room, so you have to consider that. But if you're even just looking for a smaller space, I mean, we have one. I'm looking over here at our neighbors back behind here. They've got one set up, the exact same kind. I mean, quite a few people have this, and we really like this one a lot.
Yep, a lot. And it wasn't too expensive. No. I think they were $189 for each. We bought 2 of them, and they come with so many panels, but we bought 2 of them. They were $189 each, and we bought 2 of them that covered our whole 45 foot.
Yeah.
But they're on Amazon. We got them straight off of Amazon, so nothing unusual. Now, the last thing that we want to discuss, this is something that we've kind of have gotten better year after year, and now that we went full time, we're getting really good at it, and that's organizational containers.
Yes.
And we're talking about anything from like flour or sugar to shoes and to different things to just when you open up the, whatever your cabinet,
right.
I can't think of the word, you pull out a container and you've got everything neatly stacked. So this is kind of your area. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Yeah, and it really has developed over the years. I'm an organization kind of freak. It just calms my brain when things can be very organized. So if we can have everything in nice containers that everything fits into under the RV, and, we'll have a container, for example, like the bug spray and, all of the buggy items. And we've got a container for that. And we've got a container for all the cleaning supplies for the RV, like wax and things like that, detailing products, and got a container for that. And so just always have containers. And then on the inside, I've moved to more containers recently, getting containers for like the flour, like Randy was saying, sugar, oatmeal, cereals, things like that, because you typically have such limited space. And if you can get those organization systems, you're going to fit a lot more in than you ever anticipated. And then I found a fun, some organization tricks along the way. Our old neighbor Jean had told me, those little wine bags that you get, Kroger, that you'll get like 6 bottles of wine in. So they're divided, and they're like that reusable material. Ladies and gents, those are perfect for not only transporting, but storing shoes. And I was like, what? Why did I never see this or know this? So I literally here in the RV, I've got one completely full with all my flip-flops. So, and it's just hanging up in the closet. Instead of trying to find someplace to shove all of my flip-flops and sandals, they are neatly organized in one of these little wine bags. And Jean was like, yeah, you can just use it to transport shoes back and forth. So like, if you're not a full-timer like what we used to do, I could take the shoes back and forth into the RV with them and get multiple shoes. She says she uses them even on her trips where she's not an RVer. They just go out of town somewhere and she uses one of those bags to transport her shoes. And I'm like, Jane, you're genius. So yeah, always looking for ways to organize. In fact, if you have any great tips and tricks, we would love to hear about that. So either shoot us an email or respond below or reply below or comment below is what I'm trying to say.
Wow, you really tossed around that word.
I did. All
right, well, that's everything. That's some of our favorite products of the year. And we're going to try to do this every year at the end of the year. So if you have any comments or your own, as Caly said, please let us know.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the audio podcast, you can just send us an email to publishers at RV Destinations Magazine, or on YouTube, you can just respond down below in the comment section. But we'd like to thank everybody for coming out and joining us here. And you want to take us out, babe?
Yeah. So thank you all for joining us and just listening to us talk about some of our favorite products that we've come across over the 14 years, almost 14 years of RVing. So thank you all very much for joining us and for listening to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, and finding us out on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at RV Destinations on YouTube. And don't forget to check out our website, rvdestinationsmagazine.com, where we are always giving you really great free, free RV travel content and so much more. We've got RV friendly recipes out there galore. We have great ideas on different places to visit, what to see and do. And again, it's all free. So go check it out. We've got some discounts going on our subscriptions right now. So if you go out to our website, you're going to get a nice little pop-up box with a wonderful discount. So check that out, rvdestinationsmagazine.com. And we just want to thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you and spending the time here with us today.
Safe travels.
Safe travels, y'all.